We are now joined in the Media Center with Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge. Fresh off your victory at Bristol Motor Speedway last week, talk a little bit about your win and kind of how your week shaped up.
Yeah, well, last week was, am I working there? Can you hear me? Oh, now I'm working. There we go. Yeah, last week was certainly very good for our team and a great way to get some momentum through the 2012 season, or get it started, I should say. So that was, a very good moment for our team. So it was a great moment for me personally to get back in victory lane. You know, every time you go through an off season, you find yourself wondering how you're going to start off the year, and I think we've started out fairly solid. We, had the incident at Daytona, can happen to anybody, and followed up with a great run at Phoenix and a very strong showing in Vegas before we had some trouble, and I think rebounded again at Bristol. So I'm hoping we can come here to California and have another solid run. This is not my best racetrack, as indicated by my struggles to find the media center. But we're very optimistic, and I feel very good about it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up for questioning. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start here with Wolfgang and then Lewis.
Wolfgang Monser from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. Brad, earlier Penske announced they will switch to Ford for 2013. Is there still going some development work in the current car, or you will race it unchanged until the end?
The great thing about the relationship with Dodge, and I spoke to this a little bit last week, I guess, at Bristol, I believe it was, is that Penske Racing holds the keys to all development within the Dodge platform and with the 2012 car. So I see no reason why we would quit developing it. And I know for a fact that there are several projects that we are working on and going to keep pushing on throughout the year. So, with the 2013 car coming out next year, everybody is going to have to switch to new car development by about halfway through the year, or at least by the time the chase starts. So, I see no disadvantage there at all, and feel rather confident about it.
Louis Frank, Reuters and AutoWeek.com. I'm going to stick your feet right in the fire. What do you think of the appeals decision, and what do you think about the fact that, is it clear in your mind? Yeah. Is it clear in your mind how somebody could get all the penalties taken away but the fine remain?
I mean, what I think about it is it really doesn't interest me. That's honestly how I think about it. It's not. It really is not a topic that's interesting to me. So I haven't put any thought into it. It really doesn't seem to affect me or my team, and I've been putting all my thought into what I'm going to do to win more races and be competitive, especially here at a track that I haven't been in the past. So, as far as how the whole process works, I don't really know, and I haven't put an effort into understanding it. So, I'm sure there's a lot of different opinions, and usually I have no shortage of opinions. But this particular one, I just have not found interesting and haven't followed, so I don't have any opinion on it. I don't know. I don't get into it. I didn't join the sport to be a race car driver and argue court cases. I drove it to go fast, turn left, and win races. So, things of that nature just haven't really excited me. So I haven't followed it. I mean, that's quite odd. I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
I just don't think it's very interesting. I think the focus should be on what's going on the racetrack, and whether that's teammates cutting each other's tires down, or that to me is interesting. Yeah, I'm sure someone will ask that. So I don't follow court cases in racing. That seems kind of lame.
Okay, we'll go with Bob Hockerus and Terry Blunt next.
Bob Hockerus, Scene Daily. Have you gotten a chance to talk to Bruton at all about your opinions of Bristol, and where do you weigh in on that topic?
I never got his phone number. That's why he hasn't heard from any drivers. He doesn't share his phone number. He should share his phone number. Then I could tell him what I really think. So no, I haven't spoke to him.
What's your opinion of it? Has it changed from last Sunday night?
No, I think the racetrack is as good, if not better, than it's ever been. I think there's other ways to make the racing better, and everybody's definition of what that is probably a little different. But in my eyes, the track reconfiguration has helped the facility from what could otherwise be a even worse scenario. I think you look at a track that I won't name that's, of similar nature to the Northeast, and it didn't get reconfigured, and it's seen the same issues with attendance drops. So the whole reconfiguration story doesn't go very far with me. I personally think it's irresponsible, misinformed, and at best self-serving for any driver or media member that goes out there and criticizes the track reconfiguration and what's been done to it. I don't think that's right. I think that there's drivers that struggle there as the track has been reconfigured that certainly have ulterior motives to point the finger at the surface reconfiguration instead of their own team's performance or whatnot. And I think there's media members that enjoy getting the extra attention and extra reads from talking about the track surface, but I don't think it's an informed opinion or an informed issue when you look at it objectively. So that's my take on it.
Okay, Terry.
Terry Blount, ESPN.com. Okay, Brad, I know you just said you don't really worry about the penalties, don't get into the details of it, but just from a standpoint of your team, is it encouraging to know that if they found a problem with your car that you felt was unfair, that there is a realistic shot of that getting overturned? Or is it more like that you feel like an opponent maybe got away with something? Which is it for you?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I haven't had a problem of that nature, and so I don't worry about it. If it was a situation where my team has been caught and fined numerous times, then that would be something I would think about. But I got an owner by the name of Roger Penske who has a saying that is, he's not in favor of robbing the bank. He's got a great reputation, not just within the motorsports community, but within all aspects of his life for, the way he does business and the way he conducts it. And he is adamant about not pushing things to the point where you could get in trouble. And so I think you look at Penske Racing's history, and considering their length of time in the sport, I would say they're probably in the bottom tier of upper-level teams in regards to fines or whatever you want to call that, issues with car inspection. And so I think the emphasis that we put at Penske Racing is more on doing right the first time than it is questioning the process of what to do when you get caught.
Okay, we'll go up front with Kay, and then David Carvello in the back there.
Yeah. Kay Presto, carsandcompetition.com. What's your feeling this season coming from Bristol, which is a tight short track, to a 2-mile oval like this that's wide open with a lot of lanes?
Yeah, that's a big change, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think you look at the schedule, and the first 5 races, we've covered every genre there is, from restrictor plate track to a 1-mile flat track in Phoenix, a 1.5 mile high bank track, in Vegas, and then obviously Bristol, half-mile, very short high bank track, and now here we are, a flat 2-mile track. So that's seemingly we've covered all the genres there are, so to speak, and it's a real test of any team. So, for me, it's great to have won last week, but that win, in retrospect, doesn't guarantee any performance here this weekend in Fontana. It's going to come down more to, aerodynamics and platform control and so forth here at Fontana. And so it's going to be a different race for sure.
You're going to enjoy the wider racing that this track offers?
Yeah, I've never disliked it. I like having a wide track to race on. What I like about this place is you get a really big draft down the front straightaway when the pack gets together in a restart, and I think that really causes some great racing when we get to turn 1. And I was in one of those great races and got in a big wreck down there because of it, but it's still really cool to get that big run off of turn 4 and get that big effect of the draft here. And I think that's one of the most interesting things about Fontana.
Thank you.
Okay.
problem.
We'll go
Thank you.
to David, and then we'll end with Reed.
David Carvel, NASCAR.com. Brad, you're usually pretty good at big, fast racetracks. What is it about this place that's sort of bedeviled you looking at your results here?
It's a great question. Up until last year, I would say I've never ran well at the big flat tracks at the Cup level, and we had some success at Kansas, which I think is probably the most similar track to this, how it widens out. And I feel like we had some success at Michigan as well. So, I think we've made the cars a lot better. I don't feel like I've ever had a good car here at the Cup level. Had some good nationwide cars here and had some success at the nationwide level. So, sometimes I feel like as a driver that you just need to go to a track and have one good car there, and it can completely change your outlook because you get a feel for what you need to perform there. And then you're able to replicate it when you come back and maybe your car's not right. You know what to do to it to get it right. And this track has been one where I've never gotten that feel. And whether the car wasn't right to begin with or I wasn't able to tune it in, or who knows, maybe it's something to do with how I drive the track. It could be all the above. But I've never gotten that here. I feel confident that we can get there, especially with how we performed at the nationwide level here. So, I think we have a lot of reasons for optimism.
All right, and we'll end with Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service.
Hello, Reed.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Oh, just fine, thanks. I hear what you're saying about Bristol, and I agree with you that the racing's better now. But Bruton has polled the fans who stayed away, basically, and said that 70% of them or more have said that they prefer the old Bristol to the new Bristol. So consequently, changes on the table. In your opinion, would that be a knee-jerk reaction to change by the August race arbitrarily at this point? And is there a danger in doing that?
Well, yes, I do think it would definitely be a knee-jerk reaction. I think that there are, let's figure how I can say this best. I don't think you can make racing better every time by changing racetracks. I think you can do things to make them better. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the teams and the drivers and the car setups and car design. And I just think what we've seen is that, over the last 10 to 15 years, aerodynamics have taken over the sport and have changed the racing. And you're not going to change that one way or another by making the tracks different. And I think that's probably a deeper reflection of what the fans are saying that they dislike.
Okay. Thank you, Brad.
All right, thank you, guys.